All right, thank you one more time. The program Stay Much Alive here on Independent Television. Now, I told you that we're going to be looking at what the Edo State government is set to do today. Talking about fumigates in public markets in Benin City and also some other parts of the state. And this is a welcome development. Some people have said so, but also it gives a backdrop that some seem not to be too okay with the development because of the attendant issues that may come after that. Well, to discuss this morning, we are so privileged to have Comrade Lucky Orukbe, who is the president of Traders Welfare Union of Nigeria. So welcome to this program this morning on ITV. Yeah, we are expecting the Honorable Commissioner for Information, Communication and Orientation, talking about Mr. Paul Ohombamo. So when he comes, definitely is going to join us so that he can bear his mind on some of the issues that we're going to be asking here today. Now, Mr. Lucky, one more time, you're welcome. I don't know how this development, how it meets you. Is it welcome development on the part of the union that you represent?
Yeah, for us, it's a welcome development way of making palliative measure for our trader. I also let you know that we have 3 types of traders inside our market: shop owner, squatter, and hawker. The government is making provision for the squatters now inside different secondary school and the primary school. It's a welcome development, those that are selling food stuff.
Okay.
And I was there yesterday in Dukbolo Secondary School to see myself. So traders were bringing their tables and chairs. And this morning I was also in primary school to check what is happening there. And I saw a lot of traders, and some people even bring truck of orange, discharging orange and all that. It is a welcome development, but the government needs to do more by bringing people that understand the theory of our market, not doing meeting with stakeholders, people that are supposed to retire in their house representing the traders inside our government house, that doesn't understand the feeling of the traders. Bringing palliative measures is a beautiful idea.
No, we're not talking about palliative measures now. We're talking about fumigating the markets,
yes.
The markets environment.
Yes, I'm coming to that area.
Okay.
Why do they provide a palliative measure for traders? Is to go and fumigate our market, and it's a welcome development. It's good to fumigate our market, but as we speak now, our traders, they are already doing business in those areas that government map out for them as palliative measure. So right now we see it as a welcome development, but the government needs to do more. While people are doing their foodstuff business, we have a lot of traders at home, they have nothing to eat. We also have a lot of traders that when they sell every blessed day, that is where they get their daily bread. So government needs to make a provision for these people, not just the traders alone. We have a lot of people now in their houses staying at home without food. You know what it takes.
Orukbe, let us not mix up issues here. Yeah. We are not talking about really talking about the palliatives. Yeah. We're talking about fumigating the market environment.
Yes.
It starts today.
Yeah.
So that's the question. So how are you guys responding to it? Good enough that you said that it seems that government is only making arrangements for only one set of traders, and you said you have various types of traders. You have the squatters, you have the the hawkers and the shop owners and all that. Yeah. So that's the question. So how are you guys looking at this fumigating the market environment?
Yeah, fumigating our market is a welcome development. It's a way of stopping the virus not to enter our market, and also to sanitize our market. So the traders, we are really happy about it. So the government, that is what I'm telling you now, that they should not stop there. Okay. After fumigating the market, and people that is staying at home, traders that is at home now that is not doing business, fumigating will not help put food in their table. They should also make provision so that the people can be happy. As I speak to you now, some set of traders are happy, while some are crying. The ones that are selling food stuff now, those are the people now they make palliative measure for, while fumigating inside our market. So nobody know when the traders will come back inside the market. So these are the questions that we are asking as a union. Okay, well,
we are going to have the Commissioner for Communication and Orientation in Edo State, Honorable Paul Ohombamo, as we discuss along on this program, so that he can really tell us how long is this exercise going to last. Anyway, you talked about government that the difficulty may be that government will not give palliative, or that the palliatives will not run across all forms of traders. But perhaps the greatest challenge that government has is, your own inability to really quantify the amount of traders that you have? For example, it's an easy impression to know that public markets in Benin City and perhaps in Nigeria is probably a welcome place for all manner of sellers. So you guys are not structured.
See, we are very structured, like our market. Now, let me use New Benin market for example. When you have today, what about the plazas around those areas? The government have any provision to fumigate those plazas? The whole of Mission Road.
What do you mean by plazas now?
We talk about plazas that have like 20 or 30 shopping mall plazas.
The plazas.
Yes, the plazas.
Yeah.
Do they have it in mind to also fumigate those areas? So they should put it part of their plan to fumigate our plazas. A whole of Mission Road, they do buying and selling there. Traders also do business there. They should put it and see how they can fumigate this area I'm talking about, not just the market alone. So for us, it's a welcome development, it's a way of preventing this deadly virus not to enter our market or not to go rampant. But for we, as a union, we are appealing to Edo State government. They should not stop not just the fumigating alone. They should also make provision for individuals. They should make provision for individuals. People are hungry. I don't stay in my house. They say people should stay at home. I don't stay outside. I go around. This morning I went to my the primary school. I don't know if you are hearing me. Why people are lamenting. If a state or federal government can borrow money to go and do projects, they can also borrow money to disburse to their masses. These are the areas that the Traders Welfare Union is advising government. So we are advising them, if they don't have reserve, they should go and look for money to take care of the masses. You know that traders, they are the life wire of economy. Today their business is done. They are eating their capital now. If they finish their capital, if they want to start their business, where do they get money from? Other countries that we are emulating today, because the virus is just not only Nigeria, it's all over the world. They disburse palliative measure for their citizens. But the situation in Nigeria, you hear that we want to support the poorest of the poorest. How do you know the poor people? Supporting the poorest of the poorest, they are doing it one side. It isn't supposed to be like that.
Okay, now let's look at another issue that seems to be brewing around the corner. You know, the concerns that these schools, though owned by state government, you know, have you made proper arrangements to make sure that at the end of the day, your traders don't filter these places? You know, typical of traders, you give them a space, they filter the place with that and all that. Have you spoken to them that, look, this is just for a period of time, we're going to return back to our normal environment?
See, I was there yesterday to advise the traders. Are you hearing me? I can only try my best, because when government are making some laws, they call stakeholders meeting. And if you are not part of that stakeholders meeting, anything you say outside that stakeholders meeting will not be used. I don't know if you are hearing me.
Are you trying to say that the government did not carry you along in this direction?
See, this what we are saying here, the people that are supposed to retire in their house, they are the one representing traders in government house, in stakeholders meetings. It's always supposed to be like that. Doing palliative measure inside primary school is not new to me. I don't know if you are hearing me. I'll be traveling different states for trade fair. So that's how we organize trade fair everywhere, in every state that we go.
You mean trading in the market, in the school environment is not new to you?
It's not new to me. It's not new to me, because at times we do organize trade fair in different states. So if I were to be in that stakeholders meeting, I will give them some idea. As we speak this morning, now nobody is arranging primary school. Nobody is arranging their trader just come, they bring their goods to sell. Everybody is doing their own, they know direction and all that.
Whose responsibility is it?
It's the responsibility of the government and the local government to look for experts that can give them free idea. Yeah, I do not belong to any political party.
Yeah, I know. Orukbe, now the government has provided an alternative. That
yes.
For any public market that is going to be part of this exercise, go to the nearest public school. New Benin Market is very close to Payne Primary School. Automatically, traders in New Benin Market are going to move to Payne Primary School. Now, that is enough measure. Now, is this still the same responsibility of government to prepare the place for you?
You know, government make a pronouncement and said, go to a Dokmolo or Payne Primary School. I don't know if you are hearing me. The same people that is representing traders in stakeholders meeting, supposed to tell government the way they will go about it. When I was there this morning, I was not really happy inside that primary school when I see a truck now 11 discharging orange inside that school. They're supposed to make a provision for farm produce and fruits in separate place, because we know at the end of today, these perishable goods will cost a lot of environmental hazards in that place. It will become another thing there. So what I'm talking about is that they need an expert to direct them. I do not belong to any political party, but I'm willing to direct the government the way it should go. Like that primary school this morning, they're supposed to arrange the place. Whosoever that enter that school will now know that this place has an orderly is going on there.
But do you think that government really has time for all of this? I mean, we are looking at an emergency situation. I mean, if you take the records, Edo State now, the number of cases in Edo State runs between 11 and 13. It's an emergency situation. And perhaps that is why government is trying to take advantage of any possible avenue to make sure that the society is clean. So when you say government is not making well arrangement and all that, do you think government has time?
Yeah, government has time because they are there to serve the masses, they are there to serve the people. Are you hearing me? So it is their duty to make sure that whatever that is going on in this state will be perfect. They put arrangements in order. I understand that the deputy governor make announcement that POA will come to direct some people and not that. Are they specialists in that area? I don't know if you are hearing me. These are the area I'm talking about, that we have specialists in this area.
What kind of specialty are you talking about? I mean, POA may just go to direct the normal protocol in the market environment. So do you think we need any form of special?
Every market you see must be arranged. That is why I'm telling you that I'm not a new person in this school arrangement thing. When we are doing trade fair in other states, when you come inside a school, you see people that is selling tomatoes one side, people that is selling pumpkin leaf on the other side, selling leaves one side, people that is selling fish like that. I'm giving the idea now freely. I don't know if you are hearing me. The social distance thing that government is preaching is not there now. You can go and see by yourself at the end of today. So when we are preaching about social distance, people are supposed to be on ground to direct our traders. If I'm there doing it now, it's like the government didn't carry us along to join them. There is people that attend our stakeholders meeting that represent traders that are supposed to retire in their house. Old men and old women that represent traders in that meeting in government house. So they're supposed to have this idea. Now, if you are really speaking for the traders, though they are not speaking for the traders, they are speaking for themselves. So what I will advise the government is a beautiful arrangement. They should go to the schools that they provide to arrange the place. Also put security there. An environmentalist supposed to be there. They're supposed to have a waste bin. They're supposed to have mobile toilet where people can go and urinate and all that. So it's not there this morning. So these are some of the things I'm saying that they need to bring experts that will advise them.
Now, Ruben, one is almost tempted to ask you the question, what is really your own function? Because you keep on talking about government, that government is supposed to do this, government is supposed to do that. Now, I remember when government gave the directive that public markets to ensure that there are wash hand basins, there are the buckets of waters and all that. Now, if you still go through, if you go to some public markets in Benin City, we still don't have that. Is it that you are not doing your own job, or that the government? I really don't get it.
Right. Traders Welfare Union was the first organization that did humanitarian service a week after people started washing their hands with buckets in this Edo State. We flag up our washing of hands a week after people starting buying buckets in New Benin market there, which the Traders Welfare Union, the coordinators were all markets still sanitizing our traders for hand washing. I don't have that capital, I don't have that money to start buying buckets to share for people to be washing their hands. This is the responsibility of the government. That is where the expert now comes.
Then how do you now fund your union? The traders, don't they contribute?
What we do there, we don't have special levy we pay in Traders Welfare Union. It is your fighting spirit that make you a member. What we just do there is voluntarily.
In other words, you give by your own volition.
Yes.
Okay. So are you saying that you don't have anything to do your own part, because you keep on pointing, accusing fingers at the government, Don't you? As
excuse me, I am not accusing the government. I'm only correcting the government.
I know.
I'm only directing them.
I know. But one would have expected that you would have told me that that you're also trying to do this now. Like you just said something a while ago, that you don't want to go there, you don't want to be seen there, so that your traders won't look at it that you are joining the government. That's what you said.
No, that's not what I said. You are misquoting me.
Yeah.
I said if I go to that place, start arranging the traders, and I'm not part of the committee that the state set up, I am not part of that committee.
But do you really have to be part of that committee when your interest is to protect the interest of your traders?
No, when you go there doing something else outside the committee that is set up in the state, it's like you are smarting the committee. You know what it takes now. So for us, we have the idea. We are ready to give it out freely. We also have some civil society members inside that committee. I expect that they should call us because that is our terrain. Trader talk to trader, trader understand. So these are some of the issues I'm talking about. I don't work in ITV. I cannot just enter this studio, start casting news.
All right. So your grudge is that you guys are not part of the committee. That
exactly. The governor may be willing to carry us along, while some persons will say no. I don't belong to any political party. I'm not intend to be a member of anyone.
Yeah, we're not talking about politics now. This is not politics.
Yeah, it's not politics.
About health.
Yes, we should tell ourselves the truth. Yeah. We should tell ourselves the truth. The governor has seen me in several forums, even as about where I speak. When I'm speaking, I speak the truth. I don't know if you are hearing me. It doesn't mean when somebody is not part of your political party and he has something to help the state, you will not invite such person. Do you know how many illegal tickets my organization have fought in this state since 1997 to date? They are aware. Are they not aware? So when it comes to stakeholders meeting, you begin to see some old women, the representative traders. It's painful when we have learned traders inside our market that can help the government. So these are some of the things that we are talking about.
Anyway, it's ongoing. We are going to make sure that we bring some other issues up. For example, the president of the Market Women Traders Association is supposed to be here with us. But in due course, we should be able to call her so that she can bear her mind on some of the issues here. Now, your grudge really is that the fumigation is a good...
it's a good one. It's a good one. The fumigation is a good one. And the government of Edo State is a responsible government. If they don't have reserve to share for traders or to share for the masses, the civil servants, the ordinary mechanic, ordinary carpenter and teachers, they should go and borrow money to start sharing for people, because staying at home, people will die of hunger. The highest virus is hunger.
But that's not going to be forever. It's just only a time being.
All right.
All right. So, Lucky, so I wanted to talk to your traders this morning as the government fumigates, markets. I think you should encourage them to comply.
Yeah. I want to thank the Edo State government for bringing up palliative measure and kickstarting the process of fumigating our market today.
When you say palliative measure, I want you to limit on that. We're not talking about palliative measures now,
the fumigation.
so that we don't go and misinform. We're talking about fumigating the market. So government has not told us that they are taking palliative measures to the markets. What they are doing from today is to fumigate the market. So let's talk in that direction.
Okay, why government fumigates our market? Wherever they give you to do your business, you keep the place neat.
Okay. All right, thank you so much. That's from Mr. Lucky, Comrade Lucky Orukbe, who is the president of Traders Welfare Union of Nigeria. And I told you that we are still expecting Honorable Paul Ohombamo, the Commissioner for Communications and Orientation in Edo State, so that he can bear his mind on some of the issues that we raised there. Lucky, thank you so much for coming on the program today. All right.
TMI, every opinion counts.
All right, thank you so much. Here, the program still much alive here. Yeah, I told you that we're expecting the Honorable Commissioner for Communications and Orientation in Edo State, Mr. Paul Ohombamo. So you're welcome to this program this morning on ITV.
Good morning.
Yeah, we've been looking at the recent development in Edo State, whereby the state, is set to fumigate the markets. It starts today, public markets in Edo State.
Yes.
Now, what do you think has necessitated this move?
Thank you very much. It is part of the measures, precautionary measures the government of Edo has put in place to ensure that, to ensure the wellness of the people and, fight headlong the scourge of COVID-19.
Okay.
So when fumigation has been going on in public places like parastatals and streets in Benin and in other metropolises, other areas, local government headquarters. But there's the need to fumigate specifically where people converge, like the markets. So when people say shut down, they give the impression in the extreme. We have avoided these two extremes. It's not just shut down, it's relocation. Okay. They are being relocated to you know, public primary and secondary within the vicinity, so that our people can still, you know, go to the places to buy their things.
Okay, now this exercise, how long is it going to last?
Yeah, you know, it cannot last long. We don't even pray for the COVID-19 to continue in this place. But you should realize that within the short span of time, the alarming rate of the numbers coming out in Edo is becoming really severe, and steps need to be taken before the situation becomes critical.
So are you trying to say that
this is part of the step taking? Yeah. So go to school, not the classroom, but the field. As I was coming, I saw the primary school almost opposite here, and I saw the sanity. You can't get that the way the markets were. So now, in terms of enforcement, they have been sensitized by the leaders of the market, you know, association, the program, the enforcement to ensure social distancing, even in that area. So I think the arrangement is to ensure that the wares are put, you know, for food stuff. Those are the only ones that can open, food stuff and pharmaceutical, so that the wares are placed, the goods are placed in such a way that people don't have free ingress and egress. That social distancing will still be maintained. Okay. So I think all these measures are just there. The governor has put them in place in a general honest talk and common good to all for the awareness of the society. Yeah,
Commissioner, I asked a question a while ago that this exercise of fumigating the markets, how long is it going to last? One expect that maybe it's for just 1 or 2 days, but from what you spoke now, it appears it's going to last until the cases of COVID-19 start coming down in those states.
But you know, when I say it's part of the measures, for example, stay at home. Okay. It's a measure. The virus does not move. It is human beings that move the virus. So when you stay at home, you keep away from people. There are two principles I have told, you know, Edo people that we must adopt here. It's part of the 3 principles in revolutionary warfare. One of the 2 principles is utter, you know, vigilance. You have to watch people to see if there are symptoms coming out, or you know, if they exhibit any symptom of COVID-19. That is 1. Then 2, total distrust. You don't know who is carrying it. So that's why the issue of social distancing is paramount. You must, you know, arm's length, even double arm's length, to ensure that this thing does not, because it is a leveler. It has shown that it's a leveler. It has no respect for anyone. Upon the purple altar of death lies both the victor and the vanquished. No one is free from this. Yeah,
so, Commissioner, considering the fact that, I mean, the development is good, there's no doubt about that, but we're also looking at the attendant implications. For example, you have to move a certain trader from a place that he's used to, then you move him to an unprepared place. We just had Mr. Lucky Urukwe. He's the president of Traders Welfare Union in Nigeria. And of course, he talked about, you know, that in the first place, that their own union is not part of this arrangement. And also, he also made mention that the alternative places are not prepared for sales. So you move a market woman from a market, you take that person to the nearest primary or secondary school, when there are no stores, there are no shops, there are no shades prepared, and that's not comfortable.
Well, in terms of comfort, the market women leaders, they agree that they will take steps to ensure those ones are met.
Yeah, but the one would have expected that those would have been ready before this directive.
Well, you know, in times of emergency, they are talking of due process. It is necessary process you adopt when there is crisis of this nature in our hand. Okay. You don't follow due, you follow necessary process. Okay.
Now, before now, we also understand that the use of the face masks in Edo State is supposed to start being in effect today. The government is supposed to start, you know, enforcing it. So how correct is that?
Yes, it's correct. It's still part of the measure. You know, guidelines are given to hoteliers, transporters, and stay at home for the ordinary Nigerian, in spite of the macroeconomic imbalance. Of course, that one is there naturally. But the issue, when you have to come out, use face masks.
Yeah, but considering you know how expensive
yes,
the prices have gone up.
The governor has also taken steps that some of these associations, these tailoring association, they can do some of these things. And
is the government funding that?
For the government to say some of them, we have spoken to them.
And there's an arrangement between these unions and the government.
Yes, of course. You know, every leader patents his own signature. To make arrangements, we are in a civilized world. So that's it.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Now let us also look at you know some other issues because time now we understand that the fumigation exercise, in other words, alternative places where traders are supposed to go to now, they are supposed to sell their wares between 8 o'clock in the morning and sometime around 3:30 in the afternoon. Am I correct?
Between 8 o'clock
in the morning,
and
3:30.
But by 3:30, the day is over.
Yeah, but Commissioner, we are looking at so many issues here. Yes. Whether we like it or not, we still have some very, you know, workers that they work at night. They go to the market at night and all that. Of course, they are not stopping now because of the importance of their job. So you mean those people that after 3:30 that they don't have something to buy?
You are talking of the normal situation. People who work at night, you are talking normal. This time is not normal, it's abnormal. We are just taking steps. These are just steps the government is taking to at least ensure that we fight headlong this disease, because it is a common enemy. And it is the duty of the government to so do. When you are talking of the normal thing that used to, when there is no crisis in our hands, then you are talking of due process. I'm saying in this kind of crisis, where emergency is at its peak, then you use the necessary process. At the end of the day, it will be for the wellness of the society. And that is the primary goal of every government.
All right, now let's look at palliatives because you hear states, you know, people talking about government palliatives like in other climes outside the country, local governments, state governors giving stimulus packages to citizens. Now, are there any plans on ground by the Edo state government for citizens of the state to enjoy?
Not just citizens, vulnerable, the needy, because there is no government, no way government can take off all citizens. For example, there is no way you can call yourself a needy or the vulnerable.
No, you can. I have my needs. I'm not.
No. In the light of when we are talking of the needy now in terms of crisis, for example, somebody who ordinarily has no job, and you know employment is nature's physician. Ordinarily has no job. And this, it goes out, so, you know, every day, every time to, you know, look for what to do. That one, obviously, there is an ocean of, gulf of ocean, serious one between you and that person.
Yeah.
So when the needy, the vulnerable, the aged, those people who can no longer work, they will be taken care of. The government is putting plans. The government is putting plans, you know, in place to do that. You know, it's not just this tokenist thing, giving money out to that. For example, parastatals of government like the EDPA has done that, giving foodstuffs and other edibles now, to people in Ego, Ovianoti, and so many.
Yeah, but people don't see them.
They see them. Maybe the means of seeing them, not the because of power. These things are, yes.
All right, so you're saying that these things are distributed?
They are distributed, yes.
Now, you talked about
that. Is parastatal. The government is coming out with a comprehensive, you know, stimulus package.
How long will this take?
It will not stay long, very soon.
Yeah, but the effects are biting harder by the day.
These effects have been there. The government is just stepping up, you know, this empathy to do this, because it is duty to do so and because of the situation at hand.
Okay. Now, you talked about the needy, the vulnerable in the society. Now, we have situation on the ground that has to bother on...
even like in Lagos State, where they are even giving now, they are, you know, earmarked for 200,000 households But you know that Lagos State has over 22 million population, citizens. So there is no way a government can take. So you select the needy, you ensure that these people genuinely.
But don't you think there are going to be issues with that? Because whether we like it or not, we must admit how the porosity of our borders in the state.
Yes.
Edo State is probably one state that anybody can come into and probably anybody can leave. So if less privileged,
when somebody is coming
outside the state, they come in at this time and they take advantage of that. Don't you think that may pose a problem for
advantage
the
of what now?
Advantage of the stimulus package that maybe the government is trying to give to Edolites.
But there is no way they can, because these things, local government by local government, and we know ourselves. Somebody coming from Kano, for example, because there are stimulus packages, you are coming to take advantage. One way or the other, you will be discovered. You will be discovered. When a community or local community, you want to give, similar packages to people there, they know themselves. They know the need if they are serious about this thing. So it will be difficult. Okay,
now the other day we understand that one or two local government councils, started by writing names, which we had that on our news, and that there was a directive given by the state government to compile names of all that. In reaction to that, the deputy governor of the state reacted and said that the government is not part of that. So what is the true nature of that?
The government was not part. I think the local government, the Argonne, on their own, wanted to take initiative. And these things must be, it's a coalition war. For example, those involved in COVID-19 response team, you have the World Health Organization, you have the NCDC, the Nigerian Center for Disease Control, UBTH, even ITV. I must tell you, your man around town program has been doing a lot. And so that it's not, you don't do these things fragmented manner. So when the local government took it upon themselves, the state said, no, that is not the way. Let us harmonize and do it properly. So there was not a meeting between local governments who met well for their various local governments and the state, who is not their enemy.
So, now, Commissioner, let's go back to the market one more time. Now, allegations are that there are no preparations for security in these alternative places. That is an issue.
Oh, that one has been taken care of. We have one.
Can they go around the places?
There are many. They can go around, and even in this COVID-19, the security aspect, the governor hosts Security Council meeting all the time, and the Commissioner of Police is aware of all this. So they also deploy officers in this direction. And people should know, of course, this kind of situation, people want to, exhibit that tendency, criminal tendency. But this is not the time, because the person will be easily arrested. How can you subscribe to subterranean values at this time? Then you have yourself to thank.
Now, how is the Edo State government trying to look at the idea that borders on prices of food items going up? Like in some other states, the state government is, in relationship with the Farmer Council, Farmers Association of the state. Is Edo State government doing that?
Yes. This thing must border on persuasion. Somebody who is selling his or her wares, I'm selling it at this price. It's not, that person is not forcing you to buy from him or her. So it's just persuasion. The Edo State government is trying to talk to the market women association, their leaders, to talk to sensitize their people on why not to, use this period as exploitative period to ensure that they also have that empathy for people, because these are times that really try men's souls. So that has been done. I think the general, even in terms of sensitization, I mentioned your crew, man around town. There's this correlation, if you like, causation between grassroots mobilization and radio broadcasting. You know, many people, if they cannot watch the television,
They can listen to
they
the
listen to radio.
Yeah.
So all this to drive home the message to our people in the hinterland. And man around town, then the Silver Bay area parliament in Silver Bay, they have done a lot. And I want to thank you for being, thank ITV for being a dependable partner.
Well, thanks for thanking us. Yeah.
So these are the issues. But generally, when people are not allergic to change, you know, and they say stay at home, at least for a short while, for your own good, not punishment, it ought not to set cock a hoop. It ought not to cause any problem.
Okay. All right, so you are reiterating that the wearing of the face mask, the enforcement starts today.
Yes.
So what happens if...
I have mine here.
I know, and of course I have one with me here. So what happens if for example, I'm being caught on the streets of Benin, I don't have my face mask on?
That one, two things. You just want to undermine the strength of government.
Okay.
That's just the truth. You want to undermine. Why did you come out? A man of full age and competent understanding has been given directive by government. Put on this, not as punishment. If you must come out to save your life, and you are coming, and you want to undermine this the potency of that order.
Yeah, Commissioner, you see, the professionals would tell you that it is not every person that needs the face mask.
Yes, that's professional, that medical, but we are not all professionals. You need a physician this time as a a dependable partner. But those who are aware may have no need for a physician. I hope you know. And these are so when you say your dependable partner must be a sailor, what of those who travel by land? Will they need any sailor? These are the issues. So the vagaries of arguments are there, and at the end of the day, we don't pray we create a situation of Protagoras dilemma. For some people, Protagoras and Eutalus will be fighting within them.
Yeah.
They don't know what to do, but they should follow the directive. Obedience is better than to sacrifice.
And I wanted to reiterate something, that the time limit for markets now is between 8 in the morning and 3. Is that what you're saying?
No, you said it.
Yeah, no, that's why you are the government mouth. You are the commissioner.
And we did not actually initially emphasize that timing.
No, okay, what is government emphasizing? What is the time limit? Is it timeless? As in, is it the normal time?
It cannot be timeless. In school, no light. Every normal human being must have an internal logos for self-evaluation.
So what is the time limit?
In public place, school.
Yeah.
Once it's 4. Obviously, you should advise yourself that to leave. Oh. This one, we should bring reason to every purpose now. And some schools are secluded. Just so when you now invite hoodlums, people to take advantage, because in the darkness of, when it becomes dark and they want to hide their tendencies, who will you blame? Because without education, you should know that by 4, in such places, in schools, you should go home.
Yeah, but Commissioner, one would have even expected that these schools are fumigated first before you take the traders.
They fumigated most of the schools.
Most of them?
Yes.
But we didn't see that.
Oh.
I mean, it didn't make the news. I trust independent radio and television. If that was done, maybe would have our camera.
But you saw when they fumigated some areas.
Yeah, we saw some bus stops, 1 or 2 places, but for the public schools, we didn't see that.
Okay. But I know they fumigated some.
Okay. Anyway, it's a very big thank you.
When ITV went on recess.
No, we don't go on recess. Okay. We don't go on recess. At least we are essential workers.
Yes.
We work 20 hours. We work 24 hours of the day, so we don't go on recess.
Thank you.
We don't go on recess. Commissioner, thank you so much for finding time to join us on the program today.
Thank you.
Yeah, and we've been speaking with Honorable Commissioner for Communications and Orientation, Mr. Paul Ohonbamo, bearing his mind on some of the arising issues that has to do with the fumigation of the market places. Thank you so much one more time.
Thank you.
Yeah.
God bless.